Let's do this.
Did it go? What
I
the
s-
flip?
Uh-oh. I saw it. Am I supposed to hit anything over here, like share screen or?
Uh-uh.
Okay.
Okay, it popped up. I think we are live. One second.
We
Let me check.
live.
Yeah, we're live.
No.
We're live.
I know, right?
Yeah, we are live. It's showing here on my computer. Yay! Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Marketing and Coffee with Delilah Cordova. And I'm so excited to have you guys with me today. We're going to be discussing self-publishing, editing, and book covers. And I brought with me a special guest, as you can all see. Treviance, you want to say hi?
Hi, hi.
Now, Treviance is an author. I'm trying to see if I can make it into the little boxes so it gives you. Oh, no. Oh.
Hi, everyone. I'm an author, singer, songwriter, actress, and model.
You didn't let me get to my part. Anyway, Treviance is an author, singer-songwriter, and model, and an actress. But the thing about Treviance is, as an author, she's written at least 3 books now, and she's had a lot of experience with her books. And I wanted to bring her on due to this book about how she wrote her first novel as a wife and mother. And I was telling Treviance earlier, I am a mother of 5, but don't ask me about the wife part because I had no idea. um, so yeah, Treviance, you want to go ahead? Do you have? I want to pull this out of my pocket today.
That's all right. Oh, and I'm actually happy to be on your show, Marketing and Coffee. I appreciate you having me. And you know what? What's this? I got my coffee. Look, you got
Got
the
your
pink. We need to
coffee?
trade mugs. Oh, I like your cup better.
I was gonna say originally, hey Treviance, you got your coffee?
Got my coffee. There we go. See?
All right. So let's get to it. If you're with us live today, make sure you share this out to all your friends and tag people who you know need help in the realms of self-publishing, editing, and book covers. And, you know, bring them over. We're also going to give you guys a bunch of free stuff today, so make sure you check the links to go grab your stuff. And if you have questions, we're going to be monitoring the comments box, and we'll be taking questions. So please go ahead, ask away. Treviance.
Okay.
All right. So when did you first decide to become an author?
Well, I first fell in love with writing in 5th grade. My class was challenged to win a 1,000-word writing contest, and we were excited to write and be able to be in this contest. My book was called The Scary House, because back then I loved scary stories. So, but although our class did not win, our teacher surprised us with this hardback copy of our own book, our original words, our illustrations, everything. It was, imagine putting a hardback book of your own words and your own illustrations into like a 5th grader's hands. Somebody who is an avid reader. I mean, bells and whistles went off. Imagine, how we watch movies and then it's like dun 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 dun. That's pretty much what happened in my mind, and I realized, hey, one day I would like to become an author and publish for real, because they didn't publish it, but they gave us that book, and I was proud. And so, of course, I waited all the way till 2007 when I was married with 4 small, rambunctious, energetic children. So I had to actually, with a lot of prayer and hard work, I had to learn how to balance family and writing.
Oh, wow. And I love the fact that you brought up the part, about how inspired you were by somebody publishing your book or taking the extra effort, especially in a public school system, to make
Yes.
your book important for you and planting those seeds that have allowed you to grow to where you are now, you know?
Right, right. And I didn't even get the books out until 2016. So it took a long time to learn all of that, to get all of these printed, all three. And so, the first one was, of course, the Fancy series.
Right. You want to well, go ahead and tell us a little bit more about your books and especially about how I wrote my first novel and the Fancy series.
Sure, sure. So, how I wrote my first novel, it pretty much talks about my steps from A to Z that I took to write my first novel, Fancy: A Rose Amongst Thorns, which is the Fancy series, Volume One. And it's a self-help book, inspirational. It's an inspirational book for parents who are struggling, or just people who are struggling to get their first novel out. They just need that push. They need the inspiration. They need to be inspired. They need to understand the steps. And it talks about my struggles and successes. It gives my perspective, my story.
Right. Um, and then, your books are so pretty.
Thank you.
Um, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and see if anybody else has comments. But as from what I was seeing there a moment ago, I'm the only one who commented so far. But we do have people watching, and I appreciate you guys coming in and watching us. Um, but anyway, let's continue on, eh?
Sure,
So,
sure, yeah.
let's talk a little bit more about the Fancy series, as it is in the genre of fantasy, right? Or
Yes,
not
yes. It's
fiction,
actually it's fiction. So Fancy series. Okay, so Fancy is the main character of the book, and the Fancy series is about a young woman. She's a wife, she's a mother, whose goal is to love her family, live happily ever after, um, but and just live that dream family life that we all want, right?
right?
And but one day her marriage is turned upside down, and she's like devastated. I mean, she's shocked, and in her desperation, she inadvertently opens the door and meets a handsome stranger, and she takes us on an emotional roller coaster ride. Fancy series is fiction, it's romance, it's suspense, it's thriller, it's faith. It takes you on a journey of real life situations, and it keeps you at the edge of your seat and wanting to come back for more. But also you learn as well, and you feel it because it's realness.
Right? Awesome. Um, wow. I like the part about, so when when you open the door and there's the guy, she just like her world goes.
Yeah, it's crazy.
All right. So as you guys know, now that we know a little bit more about Treviance and her book, um, you guys also know that there you go, I am also a strategy marketing coach. And if you guys are seeking to get help in your marketing strategy, you can visit my website and you'll be able to connect with me and we'll be able to do that from there. But continuing on, the ultimate reason why I have Treviance on this show today is to talk about self-publishing, editing, and book covers. And I want to start with self-publishing with Treviance, right? So,
Hmm.
um, in a couple of notes that I wanted to make prior to, I'm going to let Treviance go in a second, but as you're considering whether to do self-publishing or to do the traditional route, everybody knows that going the traditional route is going to be a hard journey. But as you're going on that journey, you need to realize what those companies are looking for, those big publishing houses, what they're looking for. Are they looking for people who are coming to them and they don't have their ish together, right? Or are they looking for people who have their stuff together, who've been promoting their books and have the social media backing to prove it, who have put in all the legwork to make things simple for them to do what they got to do with your book? So you got to realize how many books in a day does one publishing house get? And what are the ways that they're getting these books? Have you considered, I'm just going to ask it's a broad, open-ended question, right? Have you considered an out-of-the-box way of approaching getting noticed and approaching these publishing companies that people have not done yet? I mean, if you know how to run Facebook ads and you know how to use Facebook ads for targeting, I think I said this in my group the other day. We did a whole children's book live and all that. But if you know how to use Facebook ads and use targeting, you can target people who work at these big publishing houses, and you can get your media kit put together that shows your social media numbers, that shows all of your interviews, that has everything put together nice and packaged for them, and it has your social proof of how likable your book is, right? Get
Right.
yourself together. You can do the self-publishing route, but in the long run, to get yourself on the bestseller and get yourself where you want to be, you're going to want to, get it all together, package it pretty, and then figure out a different way of targeting these people who are desensitized to receiving new things. All right?
That's true.
Yeah.
That is right.
So Treviance, why did you choose self-publishing versus the traditional publishing method? And yeah, go ahead with
Okay,
that.
sure. For me, I wanted to get my feet wet. I wanted to I wanted to control my success because most of the deals that I've seen out there, I'm already actually doing what they're promising to do. But I can say this: it is possible that in the future I'll work with a traditional publishing house, depending on what type of deal that they offer. Because really, they want to see the numbers. They want to see everything climbing, getting big before they even consider you.
Right? They don't want to touch you unless you have it, put together. Because they don't
That's
want to
right.
work with lazy people. You
Mm-mm.
know, it's like, for me, I don't want to work with lazy people either. Like I put out there that I'm looking for publishers, editors, and book, graphic artists and stuff like that. I got over 100 odd submissions, but how many of those people did I choose?
That's
As
right.
if I'm going to put the link for the download here in a little bit. It's only going to be about 6. Why? Because majority of those people didn't follow the rules that I was looking for, or went and they didn't basically go fill out the application that I asked them to do.
Oh,
So I had 6 really good people with really stellar reviews that I was able to pick out of a group of about 80 people. And
that's awesome.
yeah,
That's actually pretty awesome.
it is. I'm excited. I'm excited to get them into work with them. Um, but I have another question for you.
Hmm.
What do you recommend to others to save both time and money when taking the self-publishing route?
Well, I would say learn how to write in high speeds, to write faster. Make sure you're using the outline. Learn as much as you can before paying someone else to do it. Some of us, we're just not really the tech type and don't want to do the formatting and the cover and things like that. And if that's the case, just go ahead and save your money, for your baby. Invest in yourself. Trust me, you will not regret that. And so I say, if you want to do the self-publishing, do it. Go for it because you'll learn a lot in the long run. And even if you do that and plan to go with a publishing house later, that's great because you'll know a lot and it'll be easier for you.
Right. So, yeah. You gave everything I was about to say. You just said it. All right, I'm gonna scan the room one more time. I want to make sure I'm getting everybody's questions asked, and yeah, we got about 115 people reach. Woo!
All right, that's awesome.
Yeah. All right. So moving on here, you have a freebie that I wanted to get out to the group right away because it is such an awesome freebie. Did you want to tell them about it?
Oh yes. Let's see. We're talking about our. Let me go to it real quick.
Mm-hmm. You got it?
All right, I'm pulling it up here. Okay. Okay, so I'm actually going to give a some free steps on how to publish, how to self-publish your book. And it's pretty much a quick step-by-step guide to publishing. So when you click on it, you'll be able to get this free step-by-step guide and just go ahead and give us your pretty much your email, your information. And this is good. It sums up what you need to do. And it really helps because some people just don't know where to begin. And so I think that at least just starting with knowing the basic steps, that is a big help. So go ahead and click that link and get that free quick step-by-step guide to self-publishing.
And you know what's so great about you giving away this guide is that you are somebody who has not done it once, but you've done it 3 times, and now you're able to help others to do it themselves. So,
Yes.
you know, guys, go ahead and get this guide because it's gonna help you to be better at getting self-published. Because 9 times out of 10, if you can't get into a traditional publishing company or get picked up that way, you're gonna have to take this route. And at least you have somebody who has been there, done that, and is willing to give you some free information to help you do it. So click the link. I put it in the comments. And so how did publishing your first book change your writing process? Can't get my words out.
Okay, well, the way it changed my writing process, I pretty much was able to write faster because I was able to learn how to do outlines better, and I became more organized. Of course, you can see I'm in favor of outlines, and it puts things into perspective. Actually, I can delete ideas and I can add ideas and still stay on track. And so, the first book, The Fancy Rose Amongst Thorns, that took me about 9 years to get done because I had to do a lot of research on how to do it, get under some mentors. I had to take some extra classes just to understand, the structure of writing, especially in the genre that I chose.
Right.
And so after getting that experience and after understanding outlines better, my second book, which is the volume 2 of Fancy Rise of the Thorns, so of the volume 2 of the Fancy series, that only took 6 months. Well, the second book was how I wrote my first novel. That didn't take very long, but let me back up. My husband he actually suggested that I write down my steps to this book, right?
Right.
I decided to turn it into a book because I was like, you know what? There's a lot of people out there that just don't know where to begin. And so when he told me to write down my steps so that my second book will be easier, then I was like, I'm going to turn it into a book. And I want to help people. And I want to help people and inspire people to keep going because sometimes it gets hard and you want to quit, especially if you have a busy life. And so after I wrote this book, How I Wrote My First Novel, I was able to write my last book, which is my third book, was just Fancy Rise of the Thorns, which is the series to the Fancy series. I was able to write this. It took like 6 months to get this done as opposed to the first one taking 9 years. And so I just feel that you learn how to write faster and you get better. You get faster as you go.
You do. And you know, it's such it's I'm so happy that you said that the book helped you to, writing your first book allowed you to be able to create this outline that helps you to write a second book even faster. And I also love how you said don't quit. You know what I mean? And that's the thing
Yeah.
with anything that you do, even if you're doing social media marketing or you're trying to get into the big publishing houses, anything that you do, don't quit. If you
Don't
need
quit.
help, like she said earlier, get a mentor. Um, get people, that's going to back you and support you. You got to create those people. You can't really just like say, hey, well, I'm doing this, because a lot of your, if you go to your friends and family, they're going to be like, oh, well, that's great, and this and that. Like my family as a marketer and all the success that I've had, you know, my mother, she doesn't, they say, oh, that's great, honey, you did something, but they're not backing me like
Mm-mm.
I need to be backed. You have to create that audience to back
That's
you.
right. That's
And,
right.
you don't create that audience by quitting. Because
No.
nobody wants to follow, nobody wants to like somebody who just one day they're doing this and then the next day they're winging it out to do something else because they gave that up. So
Right.
stick to it, be brave, reach out for help. Hell,
That's right.
you probably ask Treviance. I'm gonna give out all of her information. You guys can ask Treviance for help, but I bet she'll be more than happy to work with you.
Of course. Yeah.
Helping guide, mentor and guide other people along the way. So,
That's right.
I commend that you said that, and I love that you said that because this is a fight, and
Yes.
you have to win. Pound winnings, right?
That's right. Because
Hashtag
everybody
winning.
has, yeah, everybody has that's something that they need to share with the world. Everybody's unique. It doesn't have to be one person that, that wins. And everybody can win because everybody's unique. Everybody has a different fingerprint, and they can get their word out there so that somebody else can benefit from it. Whether you have a
Exactly.
testimony or whether you have just an awesome story that would help someone through their hard times,
Right.
or just an avid reader.
What would you say to those people who are sitting on a book right now, are good, like they have this idea in their mind that's just like bothering them, and
Mhm.
they want to write a book about it, but they're like sitting on it. What's something you would tell them to do?
Start, because the whole thing with me is, if I don't start, I'm just not going to do it. So if you just start and be inspired, make sure that you surround yourself with people who are doing inspiring things. You're going to be inspired. If it's your passion, you're going to do it, but you have to start.
Right. Because everybody knows that authorship is your direct link to your doctorate. So as soon as you wrote the book, you
That's
are the
right.
expert if you're
Th-
gonna, for
That's right.
nonfiction. But you know what I mean? But like even in the
Yeah.
case of, you know, what you have here, this is amazing. This is an amazing feat. This is something that people can't, the majority of people can't do. So if you're able to get your ideas out and do this, you're going to be at one of the percentiles. What?
Right. That's
Others.
right. That's
So
right.
just do it. Don't quit.
Yes. Don't
Anyway,
quit.
I went off a little bit. I wanted to make sure that's my mantra. Don't quit. Let's go. All right. I'm
Don't
not supposed.
quit.
Michael Logier would be mad at me because I keep saying don't, not, and no. I
Oh,
gotta. I'm not
oh my
supposed.
gosh.
I know. I'm so bad.
Wow. Oh,
I'm supposed to reword myself, but
okay.
I'm a bad kid, so.
I
All right,
understand.
so make sure you guys, if you have questions, we have some great content going on here. So go ahead and get them out. If you're just joining us, I see we have more people, and I am so excited to meet you all or have you all here watching us. So, does Treviance, so when you're writing,
Yes.
does it, and where do you pull your energy from, and what do you do when it exhausts you?
Well, I pull my energy from the creativity. It energizes me. I'll be the first to admit, though, that after hours and hours of writing, I might fall asleep. But I love the creativity part. It's kind of like I kind of compare it to a trainer, right? So that trainer is that bodybuilder. He's out there. He's helping other people. He's bodybuilding, and he's lifting these weights, and it hurts. It hurts. And when he's sweating, and when he's done, he goes home and he's sore,
Right?
right? But
Worked
the
out that
next,
muscle.
that's right, right. But when he sees the after effect, the muscle. Everything, his body, it feels good to his mind, body, and soul. So, for me, I'm like, oh, I'm tired, but this creates the creative juices flow, and I'm like excited. I'm like, oh, but this feels so good. And then, hours and hours go by, I may fall asleep, but when I actually finish that book, and sometimes, I'm going to be honest, sometimes, um, you may feel like giving up, but you just have to remind yourself, hey, what am I doing? And is this my passion? This is my passion. So I'm going to do it, and I'm going to finish this, and I'm going to feel good. And then when you finish it, it does something to your mind, body, and soul, just like any other passion that anybody else has. If that's your passion, you're going to feel good once you're done with it,
Yeah,
and you will sacrifice for it.
your mind, body, and
That's
soul.
right. That's right.
That should be your mantra. It feels good.
Feels good. Oh
My
my
mind,
gosh.
body, and soul.
Yes.
I love it. Oh goodness. Um, so you know, to follow that up, since you're exhausted from going to the gym and working out your mind,
Right. It hurts so good.
what are common traps for aspiring writers, do you feel?
I would say one trap would be your family telling you something so good, but it's not, and they're not being honest with you because they love you. They don't want to hurt your feelings. That's a trap. You have to literally tell your family, hey, if it's bad, tell me what I'm doing wrong, tell me what you don't like, tell me what you do like. I need to
Right.
grow as a writer. You can't just lie to me. If you love me, you will tell me the truth. That's the first thing. And then the second thing is putting a book out when it's not ready to be put out. And so a lot of times we write a book and we want to be finished because we're tired, we've been writing so long. But if you step back, put it down for a minute, step back for a few weeks, maybe a month, however long it takes you, go be with your family, watch a movie, have fun, do the things you do in life. And when you get back, I guarantee that you'll see something that you missed, that you want to change. You might even see a whole paragraph you want to erase, but you're going to see something. Trust me. Might be frustrating, but in the end, you'll be happy that you did it.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I can understand that part where you talked about how families will hinder your, or what do they call it, enable you from
Yes,
actually putting forth great work.
that's right.
And in this, industry, you go into your family, getting their opinion is great, but you need to also source out some type of professional help outside of your family because
Right.
they're not, they're going to read the book, they're going to give you a review just because it's you,
That's
right?
right. Because it's you. They love you. They don't want to tell you something's bad.
Exactly. And that's not what you need to hear. You need the dirty truth.
The dirty truth.
that,
Dirty.
that you can improve your writing efforts in making something that is sellable.
That's
Because,
right.
you know, for me, with my marketing company now, I go and like before I did this interview, I purchased your book, right?
Mm-hmm.
I purchased your book. Let me make sure I said that. Because
Purchased.
I wanted to make sure first that what I'm supporting and what I'm backing is of quality, right? And it
Yes.
meets the standards because, anybody can write a book and get it published.
That's
And
right.
um you gotta, if people like me, like marketers and big publishing companies and everybody else is looking at this type of information that you're putting out,
They are. They
you're not going
are.
to get very far if all your editing is messed up, if the book makes no sense, if you didn't put the effort into your book cover,
Yeah.
right?
And
Which we're going to talk about.
inconsistencies. Yeah, that's right.
Yep, inconsistencies. We're going to get on to that later. But this leads me into the next topic I wanted to talk about, which was editing.
Yes. Yes.
So I'm going to put out into the chat here. I have been on a project the last week or so, and I am looking for partners who are publishers, editors, and graphic designers. Like I said, I already went through already a ton of applications, but I want to keep my doors open because I don't want to miss great talent. I want to work with people, and I want people to come and work with me. So I'm going to put this out into here. And these partners are on my website from the ones that I picked. I've been through, I've verified them, qualified them, and hopefully I'm going to get them on my show within the next few weeks. So that's something to look forward to, is these partners who are going to be able to, it's basically an easy resource guide that you can go and download, and you can find an editor that is trusted. And you, like one lady I have on there, she has over 140 reviews, 5-star reviews. And then, there's people from the UK, this and that. So if you have an editing, publishing, or your graphic designer for book covers and stuff like that, please do contact me so I can get you the application. But other than that, it is in the group. But as far as when you're hiring an editor,
Hmm?
you really do want to do your homework, because you do not want somebody who's going to edit your book and not give it the full attention that it needs, and miss pieces, or not know what they're doing because they've only done a couple of books, right?
Right.
Your
Yes.
editor is going to be expensive. Let
Hmm.
me get that out of the way, because if you go cheap, it's not going to be worth it.
Not. It's
Because
not.
think about how much work somebody has to do in editing a book like this. You want to tell them about your experience?
Yeah,
I'm so
sure.
fancy.
I know, right? Oh man. So as far as the editing part, I hired someone to edit the book because I feel it's very important. At first, I didn't want to, because I didn't want to spend the money, but then it came to me. I realized it just didn't seem like I was getting anywhere. Just kept finding things, and so when I finally hired someone from our reading group, a private editor from our reading group, um, she was able to point out a lot of things that made sense to me, and she went over it maybe 2 times actually. And it was a learning experience, when you use editors. And it's very important. If you're going to spend money on anything, that's the one thing you want to spend your money on, is editing. Because even when you get it back from the editor, you may still find something that's wrong, and you may have to give it back to the editor and spend a little bit more money, but it's well worth it. Trust me.
Right.
In the end, I was a happy camper.
Well, and if you are going the self-publishing route and you're just uploading your books on the Amazon and stuff like that, if it's in digital format, that's awesome, because if there's mistakes, you can fix it.
That's right. Yeah, the marketplaces out there, Amazon, Amazon's Create Space, all the different places out there, whether it's iBooks, they give you a chance to correct it. So if you see a mistake, you can actually go in there, correct it, and it's corrected within like 24 hours,
Yeah.
usually 24 to 48 hours. And so that's a big plus for us self-publishers. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Because, like if you went the route and you didn't have an editor when you first, like, I wrote a book. Nobody knows this.
Uh-oh.
It was a short book. It was on real
Uh-huh.
estate and marketing. Um, it was back like in May or so. And I didn't have it edited at all. But I
Oh.
went and I put it on Amazon, and then I embarrassed myself because they're like, "Oh my God, it just like does not look not that this and that." And I'm like, "Let me pull this down."
Oh, wow.
So
Okay.
now it's in the process of being edited. But yes, get
Well,
an
that's
editor,
good.
because
Yes, it's
even if you think it's your best, it's not absolute. Have it Having somebody behind you to check it out, make it your best.
it does wonders, and you don't even realize it. Like I was looking, I pretty much edited my book over and over, probably about 100 times before I decided to go ahead and give it over to the editor. And so, trust me,
Yeah.
you want to hire an editor.
It was funny. The one lady that I've been going back and forth with, who's actually on my resource list here, um, I write majority of my copy for my website and for basically everything that I do. So she's like, "You wrote this on your website, and you need to change it to this." And I'm like, "Thank God I have an editor on the team now." And
Exactly.
thank you for letting me know, because I didn't know, and I
And
don't now. I don't look foolish, right?
right, right. And but the tricky thing is, even after the editor has is done with it, you may still find something.
Yep,
You
that's
just have
sad
to.
but true. I've seen books like even like not Michael Ogier, well, like really good books that what do I call them?
Hmm.
Self-help books, really good self-help books that I've
Hmm.
had, misspellings or they seemed off in a couple of places and
Hmm.
it's not a good look when you're trying to establish yourself in the marketplace to
That's
have all
true.
kinds of, strange things going on in your book.
That
So
is very true.
okay. I think we're having so much fun. I love having
Yay.
Treviance on the show today. um
Yeah.
So that was my question was what was the best money you ever spent as a writer? And
Yeah,
and
hire an editor, and also promotional materials. That's like one of the best things that I've spent money on.
what type of
Promotional,
what
well,
type of promotionals
whether it be like the big posters, or you got your bookmarks. It depends on what you're doing. If it depends on what you're selling. What your book is about. If you think that if you want to pick one or two things that you want to buy the most. For me, I love buying a lot of bookmarks because it seems like nobody says no to bookmarks. I'm like, hey, you go. They're like, give me. And they might not even like romance. They just like the bookmark. And so somebody in their house might like romance, suspense, thriller, if they don't like it. But they seem to never turn away bookmarks. And then also, of course, you want business cards, just whatever comes to mind that you know that you need as you go, to your book festivals and everything that you do.
well, it's also, you got to consider too, bookmarks help with your branding, right? Because if everybody's taking your bookmarks and your promotional materials and, you're keeping your branding consistent across the board, then it's going to start etching in their mind when they see certain details or they see that, they're going to remember who wrote it and what brand this is so that, you they you if you they blah, 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 I can't get my
I
words
know,
out.
don't you hate it when you get tongue tied and tongue
Yeah,
twisted?
but they are aware of who you are
Hmm.
and what you stand for.
That's
And
right.
your bookmark and all those little materials, yeah, they might seem like something that somebody's gonna take, throw it away, it's gonna land on the dog door. But the thing is,
Right.
you're creating that awareness of your branding.
That's right. That's right. It's awesome. It's an
Yeah.
awesome way.
So, with that being said, I want to get to book covers and stuff. Oh man, oh, we're at about 8:39. We are killing the time.
Oh yes.
Okay, so for everybody out there, Travions, what's the best way to market your books?
Okay, for me, the best way that I chose to market my book was first off, when you first put it out, you want to have a party, and
Book
of
launch
course,
party.
I
What's
know, right? And then from there, you're going to want to do the festivals, all the social media that you can do. Um, you want to do anything and everything that you can do that's going to get the book out there. Especially linking up with marketing companies like you, because you are awesome, and you have this platform for us, and it helps, definitely helps, and so um, definitely hook up with Delilah as well. Marketing and coffee. You definitely want to do that too. That's a fact. And but yes, um, you want to do everything you can, whether it be anywhere that you go, you're marketing. You take your bookmarks everywhere that you go, um, and you do interviews. You can, I wanted to start doing more vlogs and blogs. Get into the author groups. I want to learn how to market. I want to take as much time learning how to market as it took writing these books. As I go,
right?
I'm just going to be forever learning, always ready to learn.
And that's the thing with marketing. It is a forever learning type job. And it's, especially with technology and the way technology is changing and social media is taking over and all these different, even the way we go on, get on TV, i.e. Facebook Live platform now is changing.
Right. That's
People
right.
don't have people don't have TVs anymore. I mean, if they, well, I have a few friends, they don't have TVs, but if they do have TVs, like for like kids and stuff like that, but
Yeah.
9 times out of 10 they're not watching the TV. What are they watching?
That's right. I
Cell
know.
phone.
Exactly, right?
And
Right.
what content are they watching? YouTube, Facebook
Two.
Lives,
That's right.
um,
Videos.
all those different things. They're wasting so much time just on their devices.
That's right.
And so, you got to keep up with the times, and you got to keep up with the innovation, you know what I mean, of
Yes.
technology. And, in the future, Facebook's already said it once or twice before, they want to be an all video platform. So,
Mm.
you
Wow.
know, get your social media strategy done
That's
and
right.
figured out and done packed. And, the worst thing that you could do is not create a social media strategy for at least 3 months. Because, you know, once you have your strategy out and you automate your strategy, at least you can you don't have to worry about majority of your posting because it's going to be done for you. So then you can just post away and engage people without having to think of content to put out there.
Right.
So that's a little tip to take away from it. Automate your posting.
That's good. That's real good.
So, yeah, make sure that you're doing what you can to market, and if you need help, contact who? A strategy marketing coach.
That's
And
right.
they can guide you on how to do that.
Marketing and copy. That's right. That's right.
All
And
right.
so that's awesome.
So now, what kind of research did you do, and how long did you spend researching before beginning a book?
Well, I pretty much did research as soon as I knew that I wanted to be a writer, an author. That's when I started researching. In 2007, I would say my search began there because I didn't really know where to start. So that's when I started going to libraries, getting the all reading all kind of books that I can because reading books in itself is a form of research because you can read you can see how they're structuring their books and look at the mechanics and how they're doing that. And also, if when you're writing, if you have to understand like a medical term, how are you going to know that? You're not a doctor. You have to research it. So you have to research everything, really. You know,
It just
um,
it just
even with
popped to my mind of
uh-huh.
somebody writing about an operation or something, and then like they put words like they said the cadaver sprung alive or something like
Oh
what?
man.
What's a cadaver?
Oh, that's just horrible.
What's a cadaver?
Right. And then and the thing I found out is like with each genre, it's structured differently. So you have to like read the genre that you're in, the thing that you like, that you love, and see how they're structuring their books, and eventually you'll find yourself, you know,
Right. True. True that.
your niche.
Your niche.
That's right.
Um, because you don't want to write about things that you don't know about, right?
That's right. For instance, I love to write about like relationships. I love to help people. So most of my books will be about trying to help you. And then relationships, and I just love thriller. I love to keep someone at the edge of their seat.
Oh
You know,
yeah.
I just love to see their face when they say, "I read your book." You know, so it's
I
something
guarantee
that
that's the best feeling in the world.
it is.
Because I get excited when somebody comes, like, for me, if I build a website and, they come along, that I get excited just off that recognition. Like, your company built that website. And then, you know what I mean? I'm like,
That's right.
I did
Exactly.
I did that. Yeah.
Yes.
So, all right, I want to get on to book covers. Where did she go? I'm like, where did she go? Treviance. These book covers they're so beautiful. I don't know if you guys could actually see the detail. Let me get close. Not in that part. Sorry. Sorry, hubby. I think he's watching. I didn't mean to. But if you see the detail in the books, Oh my goodness. And then look at the logo itself, or the how did you get these amazing covers?
Well, thank you, thank you.
Look at the baby feet. I didn't. And that's your feet.
I know,
You
right?
got
You
some
see,
soft feet. I thought those were baby toes.
that's hilarious. Oh my gosh. Wow, yeah. Yeah, that we had fun with that one. We actually for that one we went to the beach and we were on top of this huge rock and we're actually a media company and so we like specialize in a myriad of services like video, audio and video and um we're actually booked, but if you're interested and if you need a cover or anything like that, you can actually go to mayomedia@live.com and shoot us your email, and then we'll start booking soon. We'll keep go ahead and send you newsletters and let you know what we're doing. But yes, it started when um, for the fancy at Rose Amongst Thorns, we had to have a picture, right? And so we were like, okay, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? We have to figure out what this cover is going to be. So I said to myself, one day I would like to write a movie about this book. So I'm actually working on a screenplay, but that's not going to be in this interview. That's another interview. But so I'm going to play that character, Fancy. So I said, okay, you got to take a picture of me. I'm gonna take the picture, and then so I challenged my husband and my daughter, Cece, to take pictures of me in front of this green screen in our parking lot or driveway, and so, they're taking these pictures, and I mean, my daughter, she's doing really good. But my husband actually beat her on this one. He beat her on this photo. So we chose that photo, and then we had to take pictures of some flowers, and we had to actually build the background as well. And so, we use, numerous programs like Photoshop and things like that. But so after we got that together, Ron, he created the F for Fancy. So it looks like a cross, kind of like a cross, and also the cross is representing her faith, and then it also kind of looks like a sword as well, and that kind of represents her strength. If you go down and you see that sword, and so he created the F, and then of course we just chose a font for the rest of the lettering, and that has significance. So I say this. If you are an artist, go ahead and make your cover and get someone to put it together for you if you don't know how to work Photoshop or any other programs. And you have to invest in your baby. If you can't do it yourself, but you want a banging cover, because look, it in choosing the cover, we had to ask ourselves, what is this book about? And when I pass my book, if I were to pass my book at a Walmart, will I stop to buy it? When I'm surfing on the net, if I see my book online on Amazon or Barnes and Nobles, will I stop to read what it's about? And so I had to figure out, okay, well, what is her face saying? Is it mystery? Is it suspense? And I had to create the background. And if you look close enough, there's a guy off into the distance. And so if the person sees this guy right there, they're like, okay, well, is that a hero or is he a bad guy? Is he a thorn? Because the book is called Fancy, a Rose Amongst Thorns. She's a rose amongst thorns. And so
Or is it a stalker?
I know, is he a stalker? Is that her husband?
What's
You
he
know,
doing back there? Why is he looking
what
at
is he
me?
doing? What's he gonna do to her? So
He's gonna kill her. Why? Lord,
exactly.
please don't do it. No,
I know.
I don't know if they can see him.
I
But,
know.
ah,
I know he's hidden. He's hidden. And then now with the volume 2, my daughter, she won in volume 2. She actually
oh,
did this picture. So I'm gonna put it up close and you can see that, you know, we use this picture for this one.
I gotta get that one.
Yes.
This one was so good. I gotta get that
Oh
one.
man. I can't wait for
Yeah.
you to read this one. I just love when people read it because let me tell you, I kept writing until I was absolutely in love with the book. Okay, I can read it and read it. If you can still read your book 20 years from now and still love it, then you've accomplished your goal. But if you read it 20 years from now, like what did I do? Then you have to go back and make yourself love it. Because if you love it, you're going to market it. You're going to do everything. You're going to be passionate about it. You're going to do
Right.
everything for that baby.
Right. Oh goodness. I love that cover your daughter made. That one's even better than the first one.
Thank you.
That one is beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah, the fancy
You
series.
know what? What an awesome thing to be able to model for your own covers.
Yeah, I know, and it's there's of course, because I'm going to be the character. That's the only reason why I use myself. But yes, it was awesome. It was a great feeling because it's something I love to do. I love to model as well, and so it was an awesome ordeal.
I have an off the side question that popped in my head.
Uh-oh.
What would you suggest when you're looking, or like you had your family and everybody come along and help you with your book covers,
hmm
but when you're looking for someone to do this for you, what do you think is the best way to do it?
Well, you just got to research the company so that you don't give away money and get jacked, of course. And you just look at their past, look at
Please don't
their
get jacked today.
look at their past, go to you can it's funny. um, Go ahead and email us, Mayo Media Inc. I'm sorry, Mayo Media at live.com. And when we're ready,
And don't get
we'll
jacked.
take care of you. We are not gonna jack you, no. But no, really, just look, just look it up. You have to research everything. Anytime I'm getting ready to invest my money into something, I'm going to ask around. First, of course, I'm going to ask my friends who they deal with because they've already dealt with them. They've already gotten things printed from them. So I'll see if I can get someone to refer me to someone. And
Hmm.
if not, then I have to resort to I have to look it up myself and just make sure that I look up everything there is to look up about the company and go from there.
Yeah,
Make
do
your
your
phone calls,
research.
ask your questions.
Right.
And
Or
if you don't have a good, like if the person, if you don't have, I'm going to say this, if you don't have a good relationship with a person, and I mean not relationship, but I'm saying you talk to them on the phone and you have a bad vibe, don't even work with them. Come on, don't even work with them. Don't waste your time,
right,
because that matters too. You want to
right.
work with someone that's high spirits,
Or
that's positive.
if you're trying to work with them and they don't understand the vision,
Mm-hmm.
or the
Oh, that's
scope, use the
yes.
project management term, they don't
Mm,
understand the scope of the project,
yes, that's right.
then definitely don't work with them.
Mm-mm.
Because I've even been on where I built a website or something. It's been so hard to build a
Yeah,
website because I don't see the vision and I
the
don't see what
vision.
they want.
Right, see the vision.
Hmm. Whereas if somebody else comes along and they understand the vision, it's like I took the money for free, but I always say if you don't like what I did, I'll help you pay for somebody to do something better, or give you your money back. You know what I
That's
mean?
right. That's right.
But you
And
know
you can also have agreements. You can make the person sign an agreement with you. That way, if they don't live up to their agreement, you can take them to court.
exactly. Well, we're not suing anybody today. Don't sue
No,
me.
you're not going to have to because you know.
But the thing is, though, if the person that you're working with, if you're hired at a graphic artist, make sure you're very detailed in sending your instructions over. Even if it's like an illustrated sketch, make sure it's super detailed in what you want, so that
Right.
they can project that well enough for you. Um,
Yes.
and then like Travion said, if it's not a match, it's not a match.
Right.
You'll
And if
probably
and
get, if you're using like Fiverr or some people like that, you're probably gonna get 3 or 4 different covers before you find one that you actually like, because every artist draws different, right?
that is so true.
I don't
That
think
is so
anybody's gonna
true.
hit it on the mark the first time,
That's
especially if
right.
it's an illustration.
That's so true. And you have to be able to work with people. Give them a lot to work with
Yep,
because they can't just pull it from anywhere. You have to show them your
exactly.
vision. What's your vision? You know?
You have to get, like I said, you gotta be very detailed, because that's what happens. Like, people that come to me like, oh well, I want this website and I want X, Y, and Z on this website, but like I had one lady, I love her to death, but she gave me a whole list of how she wanted her website to feel and what she wanted people to
Oh.
think about her. And I'm like, what does that have to do with anything? Really? I need
Oh,
colors. I need
I
pictures.
know. Like, what's your color theme?
And then you know, stuff like that. I just,
Yeah, you got it.
I got it done, and I got the I love that, and that's what I look for every time I
There we
do
go.
a post.
Yes, that's right. That's good.
Okay, so awesome. All right, Treviance. We didn't get any comments, but we've had people pop in and out. Um,
Hey.
about 68 views. Um,
Okay, okay.
yeah.
That's
So
good.
yeah, we did pretty well. So now, where I want you to once again go through where they can go and get their freebie and find out about you and get your website and all that stuff. I also added the information to the chat, but just in case I'm using this on another platform.
Oh yeah, yeah. So you can go to Treviance.com and check out everything. I'm a singer, songwriter, so you'll see that as well. The album Breathe. You'll see all of my books because I'm an author. I do a little bit of everything. I'm an entertainer. I just love the entertainment industry. Um, be sure to click on a quick step-by-step guide to publishing and get your free 10 steps because it's good. It'll guide you as you write your first book. And pick up that book too and start writing. But and then also we have my author page linked down there, so you can go on my Amazon author page and check it out, and then also Facebook author page. Make sure you go and like so you can follow us and see what we're doing.
Exactly. And then I also want to note on this Blue Jeans recording, it's also on her screen, so you'll be able to see it there as well. And yeah, once again, I love that I was able to do this Facebook Live with Treviance. We had a ton of fun. I had so much fun, and we had some coffee.
Some coffee, yeah, and yeah, be sure to get your copies too.
Yep, go get your copies. It's something you don't want to miss out on. And once again, it was great to have you, Treviance.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
And thank you guys for coming to watch. And if you're looking for me, you all know where I'm at. Smartmarketingforauthors.com. Come check me out.
Check her out.
All right, let me end this broadcast. 1 second. So let me end it.